Welcome back to Black Swan Outdoors. Today we are going to talk about backup compasses or survival compasses. You could call them escape and evasion compasses. These are basically just small compasses that you can use to get your cardinal directions in an emergency, or if you've gotten lost or you lost your compass. Kind of provides you with a little bit more protection or kind of redundancy out in the wilderness. Now, before we jump into this, I do want to highlight there are different ways in which you can find your cardinal directions using a watch, or using one of our favorite methods, which is celestial navigation with the Winson telemeter. Now, this particular telemeter can do all sorts of interesting things, from range finding to measuring, doing all sorts of different types of measurements in the out of doors. One of being it has a calendar on it, and it also has the ability to measure the sun's height. So with that information, you can find direction and latitude, longitude as well. And so we have a whole breakdown on how to find your latitude and longitude using a device like this and other elements of celestial navigation, including, we had done a video as well on using a sunstick method to find north. So if you're interested in topics like this, I definitely recommend checking out both that post on analog navigation and celestial navigation and our YouTube video on finding north with the sunstick method. Now, today we're going to be talking about the escape and evasion compasses. And oftentimes these are compasses that are associated with small personal sized survival kits, pocket sized survival kits. So some people might be familiar with an Altoids tin survival kit, or a Plaster's survival kit. It was made very popular with the RAF, and then became popular here in the States. Randall's Adventure and Training, or SE Knives, makes a nice little pocket kit for that. This one in here is kind of a homemade kit that has all sorts of different items inside of it, which we've done videos on. This is another style kit here, is a go tube. These are for deep concealment usage. They're a little bit smaller of a form factor. I carry this personally right in my IFAK, my ankle IFAK, that I have here, and you've also seen videos of. And in both of these kits, what I have is the small button compass. Now, the button compass goes way back to World War II for both RAF and the United States Air Force, or Air Corps at the time, carried these. Servicemen carried these, as well as some infantry and other specialty groups such as the SOE and the OSS all carried compasses of different sorts in case they were captured behind enemy lines. Now, one of the features about these compasses is that they were made to hide within the clothing, the fabric, so belt buckles, buttons, which is where they get their name, so that they would not be discovered by the enemy forces, by the Germans. Another feature is, particularly the models later on, is that they're made of plastic and free-floating, and then the plastic was rounded on the corners, and this way the GI could swallow this compass and then retrieve it later on. So that's why these things are so small, and they're often made of plastic. There's different types of button compasses out there with varying different quality, so they're really not great devices to depend on, even the higher quality ones. Very similar to that is the clip-on compass. And the clip-on compass is a little bit larger, and it's designed to clip onto a watch band. And these became very popular later on in the Vietnam War, particularly with the Navy SEALs that would carry these, so that they had a watch, a compass on their watch that they could reference both time and direction very quickly. And for those that have seen the video on my brush compass, it's a very similar design. In fact, this design here is actually also shares design features of an larger escape and evasion compass, also used in World War II. but it's very handy nonetheless to be able to have a watch on your wrist or even clipped onto your vest or jacket so that you could look down and just get your cardinal directions, because oftentimes you just need to kind of know your directions in which you're heading. The nice thing about this particular compass, which is called this Clipper from Suntu, is that it glows in the dark and it has a movable bezel. It's not great for navigation, map and compass navigation, but it can work as a backup in case your compass is broken. So for most civilians, using plastic baseplate compasses are not going to be using something like this, a lensetic compass that is made of steel, that's very heavy, that's just bomb-proof. And so I have been on trails. I did a 110-mile hike in the Rockies, where one of the my trail mates dropped his compass and broke it. Luckily, I had a spare compass, but if you didn't, you know, you could drop something like this, and that's not going to be a problem. But a baseplate compass might be a little bit more suspect. So having a backup compass, especially if you're hiking alone, super handy to have. So there's some more primitive model compasses as well. In the past, we did a video about the swinger compass, where you take a magnet and you dangle that by some tinfoil or Kevlar cordage. This is an example of a swinger compass, more similar to what was used in World War II, if you can see. It has a little diamond shape and then a little glow luminescence on north. So the idea here, and this is from Jacobite's Solutions, and I can do a whole video on this if anyone's interested, is that you just dangle that here and then it'll be able to give you your cardinal directions, namely giving you north. So it's a very handy, very small compass. Now, one of the nice things about this compass is that I can carry this with me on my person at all times by sticking it right into the watch band of my watch. And here, that gives me the ability to now have a compass on my person, and it takes absolutely no weight. And I'll do a video about some other things that I have inside the watch band, little watch band kit, so to speak, later on in the future. The last compass then that we're going to talk about here is a needle compass. And a needle compass is very simple, very easy to make, and we'll do a whole video on this specifically for you to be able to watch. But basically you can magnetize this needle and it will point into the right direction, into the north direction, getting you home safely. So these are just a few escape and evasion style compasses, some kind of background on them for those that are interested. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you are interested in navigation, we do a lot of we have done a whole series on navigation, map and compass work. So if you're wanting to get familiar with how to use a map and compass, we have a kind of a breakdown tabletop series on that. We also do quite a few videos on the Winson telemeter. So there's many functions that you can do in the outdoors with a device like this and the different types of devices. So if you're interested in celestial navigation, range finding, things of that nature, this is a handy device to have, and we have a lot of tutorials, as I said, on these topics. So hopefully you liked this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and check out our Patreon if you're interested in supporting our project here. And there's a lot of great content, some exclusive, so a lot of it open to the public. Thanks again.